That's my trick, Sandra.
We're live.
Thank you. Welcome today to the, I call to order this meeting of the Corporation of the Township of Blanche Valley Committee meeting. It is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 and 1:30 p.m. We're meeting in the council chambers. Do we have any additions or changes to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'm just gonna do a quick verbal mayor's report.
Yes,
Just of some of the stuff that went on last week.
we welcome that.
Thank you.
Has anyone any pecuniary interest or general nature thereof to declare? Oh, yes, sorry. May I have a mover to confirm the agenda, please? Brent? In favor. Are there any changes or mistakes, errors on the minutes of the meeting of June 3rd? Okay, seeing none, may I have a mover to approve that? That's that Merva needs that. All in favor? We have no delegations today. We'll proceed then directly with our reports. Kevin, reporting for recreation. Thank you.
Hello, Kevin.
See the recreation report for the arena. We have one new sponsorship for the rink boards. Paperwork's done, so now it's just a matter of getting it in place. It's work in progress right now. All rentals upstairs continue.
6 halls, that's good.
Yeah, it's not big events, but they're all.
Are a lot of those ones tied to like the birthday parties that you're doing on the floor?
There is a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple. We have one.
Is there more of an uptick this year so far for the birthday parties in the springtime for like your hall rentals on the main?
There is, like, we might have, like this month, we have this Saturday, we have another one on the ice surface where they're playing ball hockey.
No, it's just nice to see like we're using actual like communities, which is great.
Information booth, the hours are posted there, music in the park starts. Timber Gardens plan at the island, side the, right the Gerald Tracy Park sign.
Big man's right behind you. Okay, so I just. Now that we're on Gerald Tracy Park, the roof on the gazebo looks amazing. But Kevin, we all have to thank you for making this day so beautiful. Everybody commented on how pretty the park was that day. The signs look amazing. The tourist booth, the blue on the tourist booth is incredible. And I find it funny that now when you drive westerly, Genevieve's mural actually stands out more with the blues in it. So I love it. And I will get in touch with the planner for the National Indigenous Peoples Day on Saturday. So thanks for that.
Thank you. We had a visitor in the park last Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm not sure, just passing through.
Dove a deer.
Oh. Hey, listen, there was a bear in Petawawa on the main street, so. Oh, hello. And is she still around?
No idea.
Looks like she's the one who's in my backyard this morning.
So for our viewing public, we had a deer in Gerald Tracy Park, enjoying the view of the river.
Inspecting the environment.
Yes.
Up to the Legion Field, grass maintenance continues, ball and soccer. Quite busy. Soccer is very busy. The numbers are 135 or so. It's
Wow.
It's big. It's big. Wednesday nights, it's a busy spot. Splash pad, daycare, schools are using it, so
Can council go there today, please?
We have a group up there this morning, so I'm not sure.
So two things for Legion Field. I did mention to the president of the Legion that I'd like to meet with him for Legion Week to do something, an unveiling of sorts. Are you confident that we can get the signage and the sidewalk done?
Yeah, I feel, yeah.
You're good? That's wonderful. The second thing is I did have somebody that approached me about potentially doing a lawn bowling at Legion Field. So weirdly, on my street in Toronto, it was one of the largest lawn bowling leagues in the city. People would actually just sit on the perimeter and watch people lawn bowl. Apparently it's making a comeback. Now, I'm not sure if it'll become pickleball, but apparently it's making a comeback. So I said to get in touch with you, but I see no reason why we couldn't do some lawn bowling. I
Yeah,
think there's very little investment involved. You're talking about the white ball at the end and some red and blue balls that you
Yeah.
chuck at the white ball.
Yeah, we
Some
some on
lines.
on the one ball field or the soccer field, it depends, whatever they prefer, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I will let the resident know, but I thought it was just just one more thing to get people out and active.
So here's some pictures and some ideas, Sarah, and been kind of kicking around and everybody, so. Just on the face of the rec building. And
Oh.
I know it wasn't on the agenda, but it's sort of come to the forefront and if what permits, I'd like to jump on it sooner than later and
Yeah.
have it in place and done. And,
Well, we did agree that we would, since we were doing Gerald Tracy Park and our banners all in the blue. Oh, did the banners come in?
I don't think not, yeah, they're here, okay. Yeah.
Oh, can we see them?
They're in the kitchen?
Yeah.
I'd love to see one. Because I saw they were shipped from Brockville on July 3rd, June 4th. But we agreed that we would stick with sort of the red and white and black at Legion, which I think will differentiate the two. Whoa, I love this. Oh, I like all of them. I don't like the plain red.
Thanks.
Oh. Oh, I like all of them. Do you want us to vote on those?
They're already ordered.
No, it's paint, it's paint. Oh, yeah. Oh, they are beautiful. It's sideways, Sharon. Yeah.
Bold, looks great.
They look great.
We got Canada flag ones in too.
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic. I'm very excited. Are we putting those up prior to the connecting link being done or
I don't wanna wait till they're done. I don't want them all dusty and.
no?
You know, no one's gonna see them. Well, we could put them on some of the other streets, like John Street.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Where we're not doing the connecting link, can we have those put up, please? So do you, yes, Gerald?
Ready.
There are like 30 of them. I think 30.
Yeah, we increased it to 30. Because every second one was Canada
Yeah.
flag and the other one was Township Bonch Valley.
Oh, yeah, it'll go Bonnechere Valley, Canada, Bonnechere, because of the weather and the deterioration of the Canada flags and the disrespect that shows to our vets, we've decided to go with the vinyl. They will absolutely last longer and a more permanent tribute. And so they'll alternate Bonnechere Valley and Canada over and over again. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think where we're doing the link, it's probably gonna get pretty messy. So wherever we're not doing it, maybe they could go up. Be nice to have some of them up for Canada Day.
Yeah, I don't know. We can try.
Okay.
Yeah.
No promises.
No, because we gotta get a contractor in to do it.
I
so,
get it, and I know.
There'll be more Canada Days coming.
They come every year on July the 1st. All right, they are beautiful. Now, do
Yeah.
you want a decision from us on the poppies or the Canada flag?
The the painting of the Legion Field for sure,
Hmm.
because I have a gentleman that's, willing to donate his labor,
Yes,
so.
the gentleman that just joined E EACDG.
Awesome.
Okay.
Anyways, I said I was thinking of the council this month, today, kind of deal, and,
Okay, gentlemen, this is just like when we were choosing the sign color. Do you have a preference? Go ahead, John.
I think I'd vote for the flag first. Not any show of disrespect, but we're also doing a nice alternative display for the veterans with the walkway and the arch.
Well, the arch, but also the veteran sidewalk.
Yeah.
So if we're doing the sidewalk and the arch, then I tend to agree, even though I love the poppies. I like the little poppies. But I kind of agree. Thoughts?
No, I was, Canada flag would be.
Murph.
Canada flag.
All right, there you go.
perfect.
Even though I love the poppies.
Oh, yeah.
Can we put some poppies on the corner? Just little poppies on the corner?
That's,
Talk to your painter.
that'd be
That'd be
the,
an idea.
How about we do the Canada flag and then we'll go from there after?
No, if he's there, just ask him if he can put a couple of poppies.
to
If
see
it's
what,
too much,
yeah, we can do is stand still then or see what we can.
yeah, if it's too much trouble, don't worry about it, but that's what I was thinking too, because I think the sidewalk and the arch are a real tribute to our vets. Okay, so, but if you're confident, then I'm gonna schedule a meeting, because I'd like it to be at the beginning of Legion Week, which starts September 21st. And how the logistics of it go, I don't know, but they generally do a whole sort of afternoon. I think some even stay into the evening, but I think it would be a lovely way to start the week off. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Just a few poppies.
Okay. The village, maintenance, the planter boxes are going on today. And we changed the Canada flag and put the banner up last week. Welcoming Wood Hill was planted by the Horticulture Society, and we're looking at the maintenance of it all. And I guess there was one other item there was the fountain.
Yes,
Yes,
big money.
Well, that was $800 to fix the pump pretty much, and then just doesn't include the lighting. Is the lighting didn't have the fix until next year?
The lighting was, yeah, there was, I guess the wires were too short or whatever, to fix it up and, so.
so they're saying that the lighting kit could be less expensive next year. Even if it was half of this 3,800, I think that would be more palatable, but you're talking like $4,000 just for the lighting. So unfortunately, I would think that, yes, let's fix the whatever they're doing to the pump, the $984 bill. And then we'll talk about the lights next year. It's a shame because it is pretty lit up, but
So, but if you fix the pump, like it's not coming. It's not coming back to us till, they're gonna hang on to it till they fix the light. So to me,
oh, I missed.
either wait and fix it all and get it back to us and, or don't fix it and maybe get a new one.
Oh, that's not what this says. It says that this is for the pump or whatever, and this is the lighting.
Yes, but I mean, I think if we're gonna, cause it costs money, it's very big, right? You have to ship it on pallets.
Yeah.
So it costs money every time we have to ship it there and ship it back. So if we get the pump fixed, ship it back to us.
We're not likely sending it out again.
And
Yeah,
then ship it back and then ship it back. That's, it's, between $100 and $200 every time you ship. So,
okay, that wasn't in here either.
sorry. So,
That, we are
Yeah.
missing crucial information about, I thought they came to us. to
no,
fix the
sorry,
pump.
no, we
Okay.
had to ship it out. So
Okay.
we did ship it to this company that we found, because it's the only company that will fix it. So, yeah, like
All right, so the end of this story is we won't have the fountain this year unless we purchase a new one.
yes.
All right.
Well, I mean, I think they could probably fix it this year, but
Yeah.
yes, we're spending $5,000 fixing it, or we could spend $5,000 on a new one, or we can hold off till next year.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
It wasn't budgeted for,
No, it was not.
so it would chew up a bit of our repair budget somewhere. So I,
Kevin doesn't have a lot.
I think that, it seems to me that not going ahead is right. So we could ask for a price on a new unit for fountain alone. Or
Yeah.
fountain and lights. We already know what the fixing cost.
So this fountain is now
1 year.
20 years old. 20-ish years old.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what?
But is it the type that's built to last?
I mean,
Like,
Well,
that's
we
the-
didn't buy it.
when you, yeah, so I think this is the individual that we could get to fix the fountain that was made for us. And donated by the Bishop family, and I did have a conversation with Don Bishop, who said, when I showed him the original quote, which was over $6,000. But that was without shipping the unit, so we went ahead and paid to ship the unit. Because we thought perhaps we could get a better quote once they got a look at it. So yes, it went from 6,000 to 5,000, but even when I was speaking with him, you know, he said, like, that's a tough. So, you know, in agreement that if council does decide, because it's such a large expense to purchase a new one as opposed to this one, then the family would not be opposed to that if it was this much money. If it was less, like if it would cost $1,000 to fix it, yes, the family would make a request that we continue to use the one that was donated. But, you know, seeing this amount was not opposed to that. I asked if the family wanted the fountain back. No, they said we could dispose of it if we were not fixing it. So yeah, I think the question is, do we wait until next year, see if the lighting quote comes down, repair it? Do we get a new one? They're anywhere from, you know, $1,000, which is probably, you know, not goes in a little pond or whatever, to, you know, $10,000. So to me, I wouldn't want to go less than 6, middle of the road, because it is in the river. It is meant to be, you know, sustained and, yeah,
But
yeah, we don't want,
a vision. of
yes, yes.
some- Okay. Will this modernize our river? You know where I'm going with this, people. It took another moment.
Sorry.
I'm getting every penny out of that modernization money.
Yeah, I know.
If it's lighter,
We've had a change in, if we talked about leaving the lighting system up on the bridge.
Yes,
Suspended lighting. Now, that isn't designed to light up the fountain area. But it, for the summertime, it might suffice without lighting on the fountain. So
Yeah.
we don't know if they'll repair the fountain
but,
without the
but what
lights.
was the return on fixing this though? Like, so if we approved everything and said you want to spend the $3,800 plus the
no,
900,
plus the, yeah,
plus the 900, but
Yeah.
once we confirm,
Yeah,
when would you actually get it back?
It was a pretty quick turnaround.
yeah, it was pretty
Oh,
good. Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
turnaround?
yeah. Probably not for Canada Day. But yes,
I
because.
know I asked a lot.
But yeah, we could get it back in an amount of time that we could probably have it in at some point in July for, you know, the month of August.
Oh, I don't know. I think that we should probably, number one, I think we should price out like for like. So
Okay.
whatever that unit is that the Bishop family donated,
Mhm.
something in that vein that's
Okay.
large enough that you can see it and enjoy it. And I'm just wondering if at this point, after 20 years, if it's worth repairing
My gut says, leave it till next year and get a new one.
and budget for it,
Yes,
or make it more modern.
Because we didn't put it in last year, correct? Because it was
No, because it was
No.
broken.
exactly,
Yeah.
so it's been 2 years we haven't
Yeah.
had it.
Yeah.
And the Bishop family knows, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's their family tribute,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes, and knows that it is not a quick fix or a cheap, it's a quick fix, but it's not cheap. So I'm understanding that it's not you know, this is a bigger, we didn't budget for this. We
Just,
didn't
I would
realize-
just say,
Yeah.
get comparable quotes
Yeah,
for
for-
different ones that are gonna be suit the needs for, and then move on to the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
about it.
I just, I think in terms of vehicles, and I think if this repair was $3,000, like I think that there would be an amount there that we would all go, oh, by all means have it fixed. But after 2 decades, perhaps it is time to buy a more modern fountain for the river.
And maybe we'll get one with a better sealing system for the lights because it's constantly water, like it's constantly water coming back.
Yeah.
So maybe they've changed the style of something.
Do you mean maybe they're more modern?
Well, that'd be a start.
John's flipping, he knows, he's picking up what I'm putting down.
okay, so.
Every penny of that modernization grant is gonna go for good.
So
So-
I think direction is that we will revisit this next issue or this issue next
Budget
summer
time.
at this time and have some new data or some new quotes.
Do you want it at budget or do you want it at the next meeting?
Oh, I think we need it before budget.
Okay,
I don't think it needs to be our July meeting, but certainly,
Okay,
I would say before September.
okay,
good.
Just so we can mull on it and
Okay.
decide whether or not we're gonna use the modernization
well,
grant.
it allows us, Kevin and I, to make some calls.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know where else to go when I'm quoting 1,000 to 10,000. I mean, that's just Googling on Amazon. And,
Right.
you know, that's not, you know what I mean? But this individual who fixes them. You know, let's have a conversation with them to say, so what if we were to get a brand new one, maybe they could source one from.
by all
Where
means.
they are in Ontario or.
I'd also reach out to Don as well and just see if he has like modern comparables as well,
Yeah.
because this is kind of his area as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So just as a good option.
and then we looked at, I think, Canada Fountains, there's a place, same thing, you know, so there are a few, there's not a lot, but there are a few different places and they all seem to be, you know, within that range. Like this was a teeny tiny little pond fountain, this was for a bigger body of water, and this was for, you know, like off a dock, like a lake or a river or whichever, and that's.
I'm just thinking now that it could be bigger.
And it can change color and it can be, they're all
And it
different
could go
now.
off the island.
Is that?
Yes,
and
yes,
does that-
Yes, yes. That's my wish.
because the plug could then come to the bridge as opposed to be off the dam.
Exactly. I've only asked for this for 15 years.
Yeah.
That it'd be off the island. Right in the center. But bigger.
No, I was gonna say, should we also discuss that and ask EGC to discuss it as well? Is this gonna be a township purchase or EGC purchase as well? Because EGC, I thought previously actually had the entity, like the pump itself.
They had to because
So
the one we have right now
I
has to
just-
go off the dam because.
I
of
just
the-
think if we're looking at this in September, I think we should look at it from the EGC aspect and the township. to see-
Well, weirdly, we've got our AGM and our board meeting this
Just to
afternoon.
make sure it's the best bang for a buck.
Yeah, sure, we
Yeah.
can bring all that back in September.
But the
Yeah.
problem is that this unit had to go off the dam. But a new one, a more modern one, would not have to go off the dam.
Kevin and I
It
put
could
our
go
heads
off.
together by September, we'll come up with something.
We'll find something.
Perfect.
Every penny, Kev.
I think that's the end of my report.
Yeah.
The fountain was kind of
Yeah.
in there, so.
Perfect.
Thanks for bringing us that.
Yep.
It's a shame, it is a shame because the fountain is really pretty, but
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
20 years old. And
yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Your
Yay.
reports are always full of interesting tidbits. Moving along, Sandovar Finance Report.
So the provisional budget report as of June 12th was in your package. I'm not sure if anyone had any questions. I know when I looked through it, for the most part, we are about at the halfway mark.
Weirdly, we're almost exactly at the halfway mark.
Yeah, there was just odd little accounts that are at the end, but their purchases and for those specific items are done for the year.
But there are also timing issues with some of the
There
accounts.
is.
So I take those and I go, oh, but that's not done yet. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Some of them come in really late too.
Yes.
Sorry, did anyone have any questions or?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So on May 15th, CAO and myself went to a zone 6 a.m. CTO meeting in Brookville, which was a very, very good session. Very informative. On May 21st, we received our third OSIP payment in the amount of $81,735. From June 8th to the 11th, I was at the AMCTO conference along with Annette, and I attended sessions on plugging holes in the finance department, managing the double digits. It was a great presentation, by the way. Strong mayor powers, municipal case law updates, sustaining authentic themes, 2026 municipal elections, and a presentation by Rick O'Connor on delegations.
Question from the audience, please,
Yes,
between you and our wonderful CAO, strong mayor powers. Did you choose to go to that?
yes. It was a great session.
Well, I think it was very smart that you went. Anything that you want to share?
It was a lot of the background. It was also done by 2 lawyers.
Okay, was Mason?
Aaron Ramos.
Okay.
John Mascaron,
Oh,
Sorry?
so it,
was it John Mascaron?
John Mascaron, okay, so he's the gentleman, he's the lawyer that presented to Renfrew.
Okay,
Very interesting, a little scarier than I originally anticipated. So background, you mean the lack of consultation and the lack of reasoning
well,
as to why it's 6 council members or more, not population based? But again, no consultation with AMO,
well, and they basically said it's under the guise of,
building more homes faster.
Was there any sense that most of the people are opposed to it?
yeah, and they figure like we do, it's coming for everyone.
It is,
It's just a matter of time. And then they have quotes from Doug and Rob Ford from back.
the
So
Chicago,
it makes it
the
where
Chicago.
you know where it came from. Yeah. where it's
Absolutely,
come from.
absolutely I do.
Yeah.
And they said it many times. This is problematic on so many fronts. And it's not only problematic for whomever will be a mayor anywhere in Ontario or potentially a warden or head of a region for the 444 municipalities, but also I would say for staff. I think we're going to see CAOs that are going to ask for contracts that are far more stringent, knowing that a mayor can come in and unilaterally remove the CAO. I think that this puts a lot of strain on staff, not only from an admin level as yourself, but from a rank and file standpoint where staff will not know what's coming next. At my Roma meeting last week, they did indicate that not only, there's already been speculation, again, with no consultation with AMO or Roma. However, also looming changes to the strong mayor powers, which is also frightening, which is why I was also going to ask you, did you hear any changes coming?
No, we didn't bring up that.
Okay, so I'm, between the new potential codes of conduct, IC investigations and their training, there's going to be a lot on the horizon before the 2026 election. And I will say from our Healthy Democracy Forum, which I'll touch on during my verbal report, a lot of not only mayors, but council members that will not be running in the 2026 election because of this. There's worry. It is completely undemocratic. And quite frankly, if you have a strong mayor power, why do you have a council? Why are you investing money to train council members and to pay them and to have them go out into the public when basically you could just have a mayor and a CAO and build houses faster? So the ludicrous notion of all of this, it really bugs me, as you can tell. I've been more verbally upset about this than many other things in my 15 years of sitting in this chair, and I will tell you, it is causing turmoil around the province. So something to keep a heads up on. But thank you, Sandra. I'm glad that you went to it.
It was good.
I'm glad, and I know that now you're fully prepared for potentially October, potentially
I wouldn't say I'm
right after AMO, who knows? They like to announce things on Friday afternoons at 4 o'clock, so we'll just stay tuned.
And because they did also reference, like, they're the ones, it's provincial legislation that we have to follow for all things with housing, but then it was. Like,
Oh, you're going back to
their,
my previous
yeah,
rant.
like, it's their building code, it's their planning,
Okay,
so that.
so I don't know what the provincial policy statement is called anymore. They keep changing it. But when they have the audacity to say, we've given you all the tools, we've cut all the red tape. No, you have not, because our zoning bylaw at this table must follow the official plan of the county of Renfrew, which must follow the provincial policy statement. Daryl cannot start wandering around and say, you get a house and you get a house and you get a house. He has a building code to follow that we did not write. Now, I know that they're backing off a few things in the new building code, but that's still not building homes faster. And I dare say that you could have a very dangerous situation where you have a mayor and a developer that are in bed together, and I'm only using that term because that's the term that was used. And what happens then? Are we now circumventing public meetings? Are we circumventing rules that shouldn't be circumvented? This Bill 6 with the Endangered Species Act and taking certain things away. I railed against the ESA when they changed it many years ago and added to it, but the reduction is far more than they added, say 10 years, I believe it was 2014. But okay, that will be the end of my rant because you are not even done. I'm sorry, Sandra.
No, that's fine.
When I read your report, the first thing I thought was, I want to know exactly what you thought of that plenary, because I can't even imagine some of the staff in the room and the rolling of the eyes.
You know, Colin?
I just don't get it.
He did it was a great presentation.
I'm so glad to hear that. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will calm down now, and I apologize to everybody, especially those watching on YouTube. I hope Pastor Ralph is not watching me right now.
I attended a 1-hour municipal finance officers discussion forum on June 13th. Processed the first pay of the volunteer firefighters for the year. And tomorrow I will be attending an information session with Graham Wright from the Police Services Advisor and with all the other reps in the neighboring townships to inform them all about the Police Services Board, and hopefully then we can get our meetings going after that.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It's virtual, it's online.
Do Merv and I have to be at that?
Merv was sent an invitation, and I can send it to you as well,
I'm
or I can record it.
Oh,
We're recording it.
would you mind? Because I do have a meeting, but I would really appreciate
I
that.
intend to be here.
Okay,
The
Okay.
reason I intend to be here, I don't wanna be at home and find something goes wrong with the computer and they. I'll have a techie close by if I can't get it on Zoom.
Oh, and we've got a webinar. Oh, no, that's July.
Yeah,
That's Yeah.
no, it's June, but it's in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
at 2. No,
Yeah.
at noon.
Yeah,
At noon. What
Yeah.
time is this?
9.
Okay, that was the meeting I was just thinking of.
which is also a police meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's on,
I attended one last week.
is it worth?
Yes,
Oh, it is.
it's
Okay.
looking for your opinions.
Okay, so that's on the funding model.
Yes.
All right, so just so we're aware, AMO is also working on this, as is Roma. Because the ask to the Solgen came out of Roma to AMO to now
I
our
believe it's a consulting company, Deloitte,
yes,
and they're
it is.
taking
Yeah.
feedback.
They're doing consultation.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I have so much to say and I'm not going to. Because I've had my one rant for the afternoon and it's not good for my blood pressure.
Yes, you're not allowed to use a future rant today.
Oh, I like banking my rants. Like, if I didn't rant at the last meeting, I could bank that rant for this afternoon. I like your math. I'm gonna use that.
So then also on my report is the 357 adjustments for fires and demolitions.
Yeah.
So I won't read them all, you can see them, they're all on there. There was a typo on McCormick. So I corrected the amount for the resolution tonight, it's
Okay.
the amount of 2,457.88.
Okay.
And
That's a lot of fires.
Yes. And I do need the homeowners to come in and sign a piece of paper, just for future, if anyone is.
For planned burns. Sorry.
No, for when you have an
Oh,
unintentional
no.
burn, I need
Okay.
the homeowners to come see.
Sorry, these are tax adjustments
Oh,
for
I'm
people
sorry,
whose
yes.
homes
I did
have
read
burned
that.
down and they, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Sandra. That's, I'm glad that your conference was so, I hear it was very well attended as well, so that's great.
Okay. I don't want to blow on the embers, but I heard an interview with the mayor of Springfield Township, just west of Barrie. And Barrie approached their council to annex land in their township for expansion of their industrial land capacity. The council voted 5-2 against, and the mayor has used her strong mayor powers to open negotiations with Barrie regardless. So we may
Are
hear
you-
more of that.
Are you trying to cause me to have another rant?
No.
Like, you just flamed the
So-
fire.
When you hear about it, I just want to say that that's the first instance that I had heard. I'm sure there may be others as well.
There are several. And some of them are really awful stories, including the mayor of Aurelia firing the CAO that hadn't even started his job. So there are, I think that number one, strong mayors don't make sense, period. But in the wrong hands, it could be a disaster. And I worry about the future of all of the municipalities. And the burden actually it's going to put on our staff. And you could have people that run for the wrong reasons as well. And that's another concern.
On to,
But thanks for bubbling that up for me, Joel. No, it's terrible.
it's starting, the things that we don't want to hear, we're starting to hear.
Mhm.
We'll leave it at that and move on to the CAO's report.
So my report starts with the insurance renewal for your information and review, so I very much appreciate both our insurer and also our broker for taking us through this, because of course, as you know, between our losses and our premium, we had like over a 260% difference. But the renewal is coming back at about 6%. So that sounds good to me and is within, so the increase is within my authority. So just wanted to bring that to council's attention, and there's some options in the report as well. If I did not adding any of those at this time, but if council wants to know more about them, or if you're interested in adding any of those additional options, they are listed there for your information.
I didn't think that they were pertinent at this time, but could, yeah.
Okay, I felt that way too. The lease for the West Champlain Family Health Team expires in August.
Mhm.
They had reached out to see if council was interested in renewing. So just looking for direction to staff. Can I go back to them? Are we interested in renewing? Are we interested in, now, just for history's sake, the lease was a lot less about 10 years ago. Then there was a lot of renovations done, and so then the lease was increased substantially. I think from 11,000 to 16,000, because we were paying back those renovations that were done. And then over that term period, when we went to renegotiate the last lease, there was conversations of whether that was going to be reduced again. But because it hadn't increased over 10 years, we kind of took a 2% increase over 10 years. And we said, well, we'd probably have come to 16 anyway. So we're not going to increase it. We're not going to add any increase going forward for the next, 5-year period, but we were just gonna leave it as is. They agreed to do that. That amount was approved in their budget. They were okay with that. So going forward, are we looking to maintain it? It's great to have them in our community, but if there's other direction that council would like me to negotiate on, I'm happy to do that.
Nope, I would just say carry it on.
Oh, I was actually thinking that there should be an index each year, just so that there aren't
Well,
huge.
no different than I think we usually index the library, I think around 2%.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but we're not indexing this. So I think that there should be, nominal, but just so we don't find ourselves in a position where market rate is way up here and we're way down here and we're trying to fix that delta. That would be my
but
recommendation.
on what term are they asking for, 5, 10, or?
So yeah, I just was bringing this to council's attention to be able to get staff direction to be able to negotiate those types of things, whether it was a term. And then what I would do is I would bring it back to council. So knowing that, then I would negotiate with them and bring it back to council
Yeah,
with
that's
this is what I negotiated and we could.
I think 5 years is fair.
Mhm. Yep. And when you say 2%, written into it, that's not per year, that would be over the lease
Over the
life.
5 years, I can certainly have that negotiation discussion with them, and depending on what they are willing to agree to, bring back the terms to
I
council.
think that's prudent, but I think no, it would be 2% per year.
Okay,
Just to, again, falling behind is never a good thing.
no,
You know, with anything, with salaries, with leases, with anything, so.
it prevents us having to deal with them on the eve of the renewal and saying, by the way.
Yeah.
Right,
And it's a negotiation, so they may or may not agree to those terms. So I will bring back what was negotiated to council with an upset limit of sort of 5 years and 2%, and we'll see what,
I think we provide the heat and the water and all that, don't we?
yes.
Yeah, it's established in the lease in the document.
Yeah.
In the package.
absolutely. Since we're at kind of a natural pause right now before Annette gets into the electric vehicle chargers, might I suggest, Jason is sitting here, Mr. Chair, and his time is money. And he wants to talk to us about all things garbage and all things sidewalks.
Let's
Do you
put a
mind?
pause.
You're here anyway. We can send Jason back out on the road.
Very good.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So we'll start with the sidewalk replacement on Bell Street. We received 4 tenders. My recommendation is go with J. Wilson paving.
Why?
My
Why is
concern,
why is it 21?
and somebody else was 46.
That's my question. And I fully appreciate that you included their documents in this so that we could see they are tendering on exactly what we're asking.
Exactly.
But is it asphalt? Is it concrete? I didn't really,
Concrete,
it is.
yes.
And we budgeted 50.
And they have to go by the standards, so,
No, it's good.
It's fantastic.
yeah, exactly.
As long as you don't walk away halfway through it.
Jason, do you want to buy a fountain for the river?
Not right now.
Nope, sounds good, just, I'm fine with it.
That's great. Fantastic. As long as you're okay with it.
Yes. Yes. Curbside collection change, so for July 1st, we will change the pickup to Wednesday.
And Sarah will put that on our social media.
It is, yes.
In the newsletter too.
What's that?
In the newsletter too.
Oh, boy, Jay.
So the biggest item I have is purchasing a garbage truck.
Yeah. Can I ask something?
Certainly.
Why are we mandated to buy stop laughing? Why are we mandated to buy a garbage truck after a certain amount of years?
That's their guidelines they have to go by. I guess it has to do with the wear and tear on the vehicles, like those vehicles are going every day. Right, normal.
Well, in the city of
Yes.
Toronto.
And everywhere else too, like Miller Paving or Miller Waste is, their trucks are going every day. probably 10, 12 hours a day.
But if it's still in good repair, I'm asking a stupid question, I apologize.
No, that's,
I can't stand it. I don't, we had this huge conversation at a Roma board meeting last week about fire. Why? Why can they only be 20 years old? Why? Why with garbage? Why does the province care if we continue to repair it? Why does the province care? Why?
all the other guidelines, they, whatever, right? Yep. Yes, we're.
This new garbage truck, if you're going to buy, is all the recyclables thrown on it together, or is
Yes.
it gonna be cubicles for glass and?
No, so what'll happen is the same layout as what we're doing right now, so Tuesdays we will pick up either cardboard one day or your cans and containers the next day, or next Tuesday.
Okay.
The only other thing we'll have is the non-eligibles.
Hmm.
That we'll have to pick up for probably another day.
Right. How many properties is that? Ned's flipping out over here. How many properties is that? It's all of ours, I know that.
Yes, it's roughly about 55, I believe.
In the village, yeah. In the village, it's 55.
It's 55 out of 500 that are non-eligible.
55 out of 651. No, 651 plus 55,
Yeah.
so 55 out of like 700.
Oh, somebody else talk, please.
I'll touch on the blue box recycling when we get
Yeah,
done.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you did say that you term garbage truck, but it's the truck used for recycling.
Correct.
Purposes.
Correct, so it'll be dual purpose for us.
But should we not look into like a little bit more to see if we can expand it more on having the capacity to move our bins that are actual like transfer stations as well? Just to see what is, I know we looked at it at the previous council, but if you're like. I think it's ludicrous that we have to purchase a new truck, this one's a 2007, we're a small rural municipality. We've already purchased enough new vehicles this year, we don't need to purchase any more new vehicles. All I'm saying is, I think we need to see what else, if we're gonna look at getting a new truck that's gonna serve the needs of the community. Then what other ends, like look at our expenses for our transfer stations as well, if we can compact ourselves, transfer to Ruby. I just want, before I put my signature, it's up to council as well. I want to make sure that we're going through everything to make sure it makes sense.
Right, so all the transfer sites are front load bins right now. Yeah, you can't have a truck that'll do both, because you're compacting, you're lifting it up over top of the cab, and then it packs to the back. Where the 25 cubic yard that we have right now packs from the back to the front.
Oh,
It's a rear load, where the other ones are top load and pack the back to the back.
Can you not just back up the truck to the dumpster and compact it? Like we don't,
No,
there's no way to get anything for that.
okay, I have a question. If we don't purchase a new one, will the province put us in garbage truck jail?
Like what actually is it?
Yeah.
Like what's
what's-
the repercussion? Because we don't have, in my opinion, we've already approved a lot of new vehicles.
I know.
this year.
Well,
And we lose $64,000 a year in revenue. We still have to pay the extra, the same
Yes.
17,000, we have still to pick up from the 50 ones. But Millers will then be employed by the province to pick up our recycling. So then our residents will have their recycling picked up by a third party. We will have nothing to do with it. They will call a 1-800 number that they probably won't get an answer to. And we will be out. So if we, it's gonna cost us about $40,000 a year for the truck. We will be making that money back in the revenue that Millers is gonna pay us, and we will remain in control of the recycling for 7 years. If not, then Millers takes over our recycling. We are only in charge of our ineligible, and then yes, we can continue on and keep the truck, which we will continue to repair and limp along with.
okay, but so what? I like Brent's word. What are the repercussions if we don't buy this truck this year?
we have to,
We're out.
yeah, that's right, we
Right.
have to get the contractor to come in and do it.
Yeah, we're out of the recycling business.
Because
So-
our,
I'm okay with that.
But then we no longer receive the revenue, and when we need a new truck, which we will in the next couple of years, we will not have the revenue to buy it.
You mean we're gonna need a truck as a necessity, not as legislated?
Correct.
Okay, that's. Okay,
So, sorry, go ahead.
If on the surface, we use our truck 2 full days a week, is that right?
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
So is there room for an agreement with our neighbors to, because we could both buy a new truck, or is that not allowed, instead of buying one truck and sharing it between municipalities?
We could, but none of our neighbors have collection except for, like, Whitewater has collection, but Whitewater hires Miller and they do the entire township.
And what about Killaloe?
They threw it on the back of a trailer.
Yes, in bins.
Because they have such a small village center,
And they-
right? They're only 100 and some odd households.
Right.
All right, so that's, okay. I like the way they do it, though. That's.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
When's the decision actually have to be made, Jason?
Well, that's the thing.
He needs it, it's gotta be by, your report said by January,
We have to have a new truck by January.
and the other option was April, and that was too late, correct?
Well, so if, depends on what route is decided on, so there are used trucks out there that come off leases. That we can get for $70,000, $60,000 less than a brand new one. If we go new, it has to be ordered, if it's ordered by the end of June, we're not gonna get it now until probably April.
Okay, and this one is a 2024.
Correct. Decision doesn't have to be made.
Whatever happened to that idea producer pay?
Oh, it's, you know what? That is the most ridiculous misnomer of all time. This is so frustrating, but the price on this comparably is very good because it's a 2024.
Correct.
However, it's it's being legislated to do this that's not sitting well with me, as always.
Annette has run the numbers, and this is the
This is definitely the cheapest.
cheapest route.
Yeah.
That's not gonna put a burden on the township.
Okay, and there is warranty, and there's the option of an additional 2-year extended warranty. Do we know what the price on the extended warranty is?
No,
Just, I know that one of the challenges that you have right now in your crew is that you don't have all the mechanics that you used to have that would, fix anything anytime. And I'm just wondering if this is something that council decided to purchase, if the extended warranty was a good price and it did cover even a drivetrain. It might be worthwhile, but I think we need a price on that as well.
yes,
So we did look at pricing, because we even talked to Millers about how much they would charge us to do the collection here, like if we got out of all of it.
Yeah, okay.
And each and every option like increased substantially, so like right now, currently being funded out of the tax base that is not our tipping fees, is not our recycling revenue, is not anything else, about $77,000 is being funded out of the tax base right now. With the going forward where, we were going to do collection ourselves, can keep some of the revenue but we have the extra expense of purchasing the truck, we go from 77 to 93. If we don't want to do that, then we go to like 140. If we want Millers to pick it up for us, we go to about 190. So it just keeps getting more, like this is the cheapest option, by far.
But this direction, say for like having, I know we've talked about this
Yeah.
previously several times for the 12 years and stuff.
Mhm.
This is provincially mandated or regulated, so we're pretty much just the I guess the odd duckling that's
Yeah.
outside, because we're not like, look, all your neighbors, we're the only
Yeah.
ones of a large
Oh.
town center that actually has
Yeah.
garbage pickup, and our equipment doesn't drive the kilometers the other ones
Yeah.
do. Like, look at Miller's Woodside, they have their one just going to Pembroke, and those trucks travel.
Yeah.
throughout.
I know.
County all over the place,
Yeah.
we're the odd duckling, and I think that's why we're the canary, like, we are in a comparable, we are Eganville Township, Lost Valley,
Yeah.
we're our own entity.
Yeah,
So like, it doesn't make sense that we're gonna spend 300,000, like, we're in a hole no matter what.
Well,
Yeah.
we're in the hole because if we don't spend it, then Miller's is doing our recycling next year and we're going to lose $65,000 worth of grant money every year. So that's gone. That 65,000 is a loss.
Mhm.
And then,
Oh, I
but other than that, it carries on and then we continue to maintain and fix a 2007 truck, which I don't know what it's cost us today this year, but it's broken down quite a few times this year. So I just, that's the hard part in my mind is this is a 7-year contract. We'll continue to get the grant funding. The grant funding is indexed as well for the next 7 years. If we don't do that, then if in 2-3 years from now, we have to get a new truck, we don't have that then. We don't have that revenue is not coming in.
okay, so. No matter what, you need a new truck. Unless we go full service with Miller.
That's right.
So. The provincial legislation be damned. You're in a situation right now where you've got a truck that's breaking down on you. Okay, which is not ideal when you're talking about garbage sitting in the village, especially in the summertime. And Brent is not wrong. It is a shame that we are the only ones of our kind here. Would you guys be adverse to the pickup trucks and just going around picking up garbage? I'm asking for a friend.
Problem is the winter time.
Yeah, I know, I'm kidding. Wow, what a great situation Killaloe has going on though, with only that many.
But is there no positive is there no positive way we can go to be able to look at as well? I know with the previous council we looked at as well as compacting the bins, I'd say on all our waste transfer sites and stuff like that, because we're originally looking at an additional truck, but there's no truck out there that would serve that need and serve the needs in Eganville as well, and their collection rate.
No. There's not.
Because they're two completely different systems.
Yes, exactly.
And we're still working on negotiating with Miller's and we're trying to figure out the depots. Because we want to have the best
Yes,
deal that we have for the depots, because we also right now get grant funding for the depots. But if Miller's takes that over, we don't get the funding for the depots. But if Miller's is willing to contract with us for that, though I want to make sure that we're okay, we're covered for that, or whether we're just gonna do the ineligibles and not the eligibles, which is a whole nother situation at the depots. But that's not the reason why we have a little bit more time to continue to discuss that is because we don't have to order the truck, because as of January 1st, if we don't have the truck and we don't have the agreement with Miller's, then they're gonna take over and we're gonna lose that opportunity. And I'm just concerned if we lose that opportunity for those dollars, and 2 years from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, I don't know when the truck is, it's a 2007, so if
But-
it goes, have we
But-
lost an opportunity? That's
The thing is like when it comes to like our transfer stations, for example, you're saying the bin itself is a front load, correct? So what's the other options for bins that we could replace those bins with, sell them and get the new bins to accommodate what a new truck's gonna be? Is that not an option? Because you could offload every single bin we have, if it's gonna save us long term, than hiring another company to come in, take our bins to the transfer station, then we can actually compact it, put it at Ruby. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I just wanna look at it as a total picture, because this is a 7-year investment that we're looking at.
but you're saying we need a truck no matter what.
Yes, so either,
Jason, I'm fine if we have to get a new
Right.
truck.
That's-
I'm just saying overall, I wanna make sure that we're serving the needs. So if we have to just look at replacing every single bin
The
at
bins.
Sand Road, and then it accommodates with the new truck, then that gives a future council or the township the option to compact, send it ourselves, and then we're more employable instead of just giving guys 1 or 2 days a week. We can be like, hey, we have multiple days of employment because we're actually gonna transfer in-house. Because right now we pay Barron's Disposal to transfer everything to Ruby Road, and that's all loose fill.
yes.
Does it not make sense to compact it to try to serve more needs at that dump?
But
I'm just I'm just trying to run all the numbers for us here.
But does this contract with Miller's, this is recycling and garbage?
No, this
No.
is just recycling.
It's only recycling?
Yes,
We asked them to give us a quote for
That's-
garbage, they did, and it's more than what we can, it's more than what we can do it in-house for, so it didn't make sense.
Okay, so we're not, with Brent's suggestion, we're not affecting the contract with Miller's. If we, like, if down the road, if that's an investment we want to make, which would be modernizing our municipality,
Yeah, so I mean. we can-
I'm just saying, I want to just play the
Yeah.
scenario, like,
Yeah,
if
because
we
we're
can bring it
talking-
back to July, I think that, like, all I'm saying is that. Let's review every single dumpster we have at all our waste transfer stations, seeing if this new truck is compatible to giving us the option, because we did, I think that was 5 years ago, ran the option where we couldn't find a contractor to do it. Well, now, if we run that situation, then we have the option to do ourselves. I just wanna look at all ends, that's it. And
Yep.
same as what the offload costs, give me get rid of the bins or not, because I'm sure there's someone that would purchase them if that was the option, right?
oh, no doubt.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
absolutely.
The question would be whether or not we could find bins, other bins, how much those bins would be.
Well, and we do have about a
Yeah.
year to do it.
Now, the other option, like the other problem is, at one time, we did have, slide off bins.
Yep.
I think they were 40 cubic yard, I believe. Then we had them set up on the stairs, right? So you had to
Yes.
walk up the stairs and throw your stuff in. And that's why I think we went this other route, was because it was just easier. To get the contractors to come in and do it with the front load.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm sure there's I'm sure
It's-
multiple other townships are in the same situation. All I'm saying is there
Yeah.
not one, if we're looking at a rear entry one, is there not a compatible garbage can or bin out there that would be able to compact it and dump it into it? Just to give us the option of doing that in.
Right, so, the transfer stations, there's only one that has power out of it. So if you're looking at like a compactor bin type, then you'd have to put hydro in, unless you're thinking of just.
I'm looking
going-
at a truck that would just be able to pick it up, like if we're looking at, be it a side entry, be it a rear entry, be it a front entry, I'm just looking to see what. Seeing what trucks are out there that are compatible, then you can just do it all in one, you can pick up an Eganville, you can also move the stuff, done.
I'll.
I don't know if it exists or not, I'm just saying that
It's,
it's.
well, cause we've known for years that we were running kind of two different systems. And I remember getting those new bins and there was discussion around this. And then was there an opportunity a few years ago? Yes, there was. But now, spending 250,000. What's our best go forward? And does that mean changing our waste sites as opposed to changing the truck?
So. I did go in that time a couple years ago, last council.
Yeah.
I did do some research on front load. That you could put a bin in, that the guys would, now the other problem is you gotta make it safe for the guys to be able to stay on the truck. To go with the truck, to go be able to throw the bags into the front of the bin. If it's a front load truck.
Okay,
Then none of the bins would have to be changed at any of the waste sites. But, like you'd have to do the same thing for your pickup on your recyclables, right? But your truck's gonna cost you a lot more money.
Yeah.
For a front load truck.
Well, it's gonna cost us a lot more money anyways, I'm just saying, I just
Yeah.
wanna review all the
No.
options, because I'm not gonna make a decision today, I'll be
No.
honest with
Oh,
you
no.
on that. But that's what I'm saying, is I just wanna look at it as a whole to make sure that we're gonna serve the needs of the community the best.
actually, my question was going to be, what's our drop dead date for this particular truck, knowing that it's on a lot somewhere?
It's still sitting there. I'd have to phone them and somebody can
Okay.
come in tomorrow and buy it, right?
So we only have one meeting in July. So we have two options, either if you get some new information, we could call a special meeting of council, but I would prefer not to. But if we're going to lose out on something and you don't have a better option, then council needs to know. And outside of that, our next meeting is July 15th.
We'd have to look it up.
the 15th.
In the middle.
So you want us to look at a front load option versus a rear load option?
I wouldn't,
I'm just looking at an option that would be able to pick up in Eganville and be able to move
Yeah.
your dumpster at the same
Yeah,
time.
that'd be a front load instead of a rear load. Yeah, okay.
These Millers, are they not? They're just a side load and they have one employee on it, and we
Yeah.
have 3 employees on the back of the
Yes.
truck, right?
but it still wouldn't work for recycling. You're still gonna need all the guys.
You're still gonna need to treat.
Yeah.
And a bigger truck's gonna be harder to get into. Some of the businesses. To do the pickup.
Oh,
The worst one would be down by the
Food Mart and Rio. Right, getting in there. Okay,
There's,
pros and cons, please.
yes.
And if need be, Jay, we can call a special quick meeting just for this item.
So the special meeting will be dictated by a deadline for making a decision on this particular unit
Mhm,
and Jason's inability to find something clearly superior.
mhm.
Okay.
I think the challenge is that Annette and Jason have done a stellar job at finding us this 2024. With good warranty and it's on the lot, no delivery. We'll have it before January, which is the drop dead date. So there are a lot of pros. But we have been running sort of 2 different streams of waste for years and years and years. And is there a benefit? Although I also get the fact that you're talking about the way the front loader works. Okay, so I think pros and cons, please. Thank you, sir.
And most run like that, like if you were to look at Whitewater, if you were to look at Admaston Brumley, like the sites run with a front load. Like, and Miller's has both types of trucks, right? So-
Right.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
So Whitewater right now, they have Miller coming in and it's just a one-man operation, right? So they can either throw cardboard or they can throw their cans and plastics in. Either if it's a single pickup, then they can do both at the same time. Or if it's a dual, then they can throw one of whatever type in to make one load of just, right?
gotcha.
Either cardboard or the cans and recyclables.
What I can tell you is all of our neighbors are jealous that we are even in a position to negotiate with Miller's to do it in-house.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because they're all paying a lot of money and none of them are getting any grants and their residents are already calling the 1-800 number because they've already transitioned. And they are having a lot of challenges and they would like us to take them over, but we don't have capacity for that.
So question, our mandatory replacement of this new truck, does it depend on that VIN number 2024, or is it from the day that we put the key in the ignition?
No,
2024.
I'm sensitive to this issue.
I know you really, the VIN thing really hurt you.
Well, it surprised me.
It hurt all of us.
Okay.
The truck was on a lease, so that's why they would put the warranty out back to full.
I'm still amazed that it's like even if it's like a fully refurbished vehicle that's prior to like 12 years old, that
I
we
know.
wouldn't even consider it. It's like you're seeing a lot of companies refurbish all your old dump trucks because they don't break down. They fully refurbish it, it's in their fleet, and they're gonna outlast and lower maintenance cost. It just blows my mind that something as basic as that is just mandated from the top down. Just, it's crazy.
It shows you over and over and over again, all these vehicle discussions that we've had over the past.
I'm not
6
even a
months.
vehicle person either. Like, this is where.
Brent's learned all sorts of things.
Well, and that's the thing, it's like you look at it, it doesn't make sense, but either way, we'll move on to number 4.
Yes, please do this.
It makes sense.
Please do it. $3,000, go, make it happen.
Okay, we'll do that.
Is that just?
It will solve so many problems.
That's just to protect the services, they're at the end of the road pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. And you say technically like your sidewalk quote is, you have 29 grand in savings there technically, so.
You sure you don't want to buy a fountain for the river?
Not right today.
Okay, but you've got the $3,000 at least for this. I think also it'll help out with the plows and everything else that goes down there as well, because they're just beating up around the fire hydrant and everything.
Yeah.
I went and actually stood there and I thought, this is gonna work beautifully. All the drainage will go into that big huge catch, but yes. I like it.
6 vehicles for this council to deal with, is that correct? 2 fire trucks, a recycling truck, a plow truck, and 2
Two
pickups.
pickups, yes,
My gosh.
I know. I'm vehicled out, believe it or not.
We're halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Don't say that, don't put that out there.
Strike that.
Exactly.
Sounds good, well.
Moving on.
Thanks,
Jason, thank-
Jason. This isn't even your meeting and you had a lot.
Good, very good. Thank you.
And I didn't know who to tell about the tree, so I sent it to you and Kevin.
Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, here.
We take 5.
Let's do that. We'll meet again in 5 minutes then.
Oh, my goodness. So much.
Go have a coffee.
Well, they can stay, don't kick them out.
Just add stuff to the minute.
I won't do a mayor's report then. I'll put it off to our next meeting. Nothing I had to say is, it's just that it's in my brain, but I can start typing again. I will remove my mayor's report. Thank you.
So it's eight
Thank
point
you.
three eliminated,
Yeah.
thank you.
We thank you.
No, I don't put it in writing, but I've done, it's just that it was a lot of good stuff last week. Okay,
So I don't know if you want me to finish my report or you want Gabe to go first because he was supposed to be at 2:45 and I don't know if he has to work after.
and he's here in the kitchen.
Yes,
Okay,
And his PowerPoint's short.
yes.
Okay,
Well, we don't wanna rush them either.
no.
So if you would like, I can go get Gabe and.
I think that would be a good idea. Thank you for that, Annette.
Mr. Fitzmaurice, would you like to join us, sir? Yeah. Sorry we're late. Not at all.
No.
Where did our reporter go?
Must be some
Yeah,
important things on the agenda today then. Would you like me to stand there?
Wherever you want, you can sit,
Oh, I don't
Chair right there,
Okay,
whatever you want, Gabe, is fine with us.
whatever you like.
Time to get your presentation open.
how has this meeting been going for you guys?
Excellent, Gabe.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, it's all good. Can we blame the chair?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Share it. On Zoom, so everyone can see.
Well, and that's bringing it up, I will say, at our Health and Democracy AMO event last week, they did talk about engaging youth.
oh,
And-
Healthy Democracy, the AMO, I applied for their day of anniversary.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I applied for that one. I didn't know that you were involved in that too.
I am. Well, I'm on Roma, which is the baby of AMO.
Okay,
But that's great that you applied for that. Fantastic.
yeah, like I read about it, I was like, yeah, I have a shot.
That's excellent. And I did mention you, not by name, but I did mention you last week. And then when we got our package, I thought, isn't that funny? A lot of the things that you put in your report, and I won't spoil alert, but a lot of the stuff that you put in there were things that we were discussing as, engaging youth at the right time to be in municipal government, whether staff elected or what have you.
That's really cool.
It is really cool, Gabe.
Okay, well, first one, thank you for having me in this meeting. I know that you guys have a lot of interesting and important things to talk about, so I thank you for lending me a bit of your time. So I'd just like to talk to you about my experience here at Monash Valley Township for my co-op in my second semester at Obiango High School. So, thank you majorly for this opportunity. This has been like a truly a life-changing event. I think seeing everything that happens like in the office and around the things that go into making this municipal government work, all the important like parts of this finely tuned machine that have to spin so the township operates so successfully. It's been a really eye-opening event, like seeing it all like kind of in the machine, not just looking at it. And so I did a lot at my co-op here. I dealt a lot with the wonderful people who live in our town. I helped them process their taxes, their water bills. I sold them garbage tags. I helped them with their problems to the best of my ability. Sometimes I a bit out of my hands, but thankfully we have such a great team in this office, and they were always there to help me whenever I had any question or like any issue that came up. Like Sarah, she was an amazing mentor. She showed me how to operate the systems that we use here, iCity and the FileHold system. And I had the opportunity to be taught by someone so like close to it, and I think I can really take those skills on and into the world. I also like helped make sure that things ran smoothly. I shredded documents. I kept printers full. I ran to get the milk and cream before meetings and different things. I dropped bank deposits off at the bank and I got mail. So like small things, but important things to make sure the whole runs smoothly.
Every job is important.
Every job is important. And then some skills that I think I can really take forward are professional communication, especially over the phone. I know you don't really think about it, but like someone from my generation, especially coming from maybe work experience that doesn't really deal with that, professionally speaking on the phone, like making sure I retain the necessary information required to like assist the person or pass on the information was a really big lesson, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to learn it here. Attention to detail. I worked on uploading all the minutes going from 2025 to 2001 when we were incorporated. And so every meeting, council, committee, making sure those got uploaded perfectly. They had the right metadata so that they would be able to be easily accessed at a moment's notice whenever that was needed. And I really enjoyed seeing how like the government processed here, like the privacy that we showed to our like ourselves and to the residents. Everything was very what do I find here? Like civil, like we treated everyone very equally. We it was interesting to just see how government interacts with people who live in its bounds. Looking ahead, I'm going down to Western to pursue economic policy, and I really think my time here has shown me that I do really want to pursue working in government. There's nothing more fulfilling, to me anyway, at this minute in time, than like working for the people and making our communities a better place. I really think this co-op showed me that. One project that I was really proud of this year was our Easter egg hunt. I had the chance to stuff the eggs and help Annette and Sarah hide them throughout the park, and watching like the smiles on the kids' face as they went to retrieve all the eggs. There's nothing come close to that.
Despite the weather.
Despite the weather, they
didn't care.
They were hunting eggs.
We're still eating those chocolates. Gang, don't worry.
Nice. I think that was my favorite memory from here. Yeah. And this has been a really formative experience for my high school life and going on into my young adulthood. It really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know about myself and that I didn't know about government. And I'm really, really thankful that I was able to have this opportunity working in Cheval Township. I thank you.
I'm gonna cry. So I met Gabe when he was just a little boy at Foodland. He was the first person to call me Mayor Jen. And now here he is, a fully formed human being with such a passion for something that we're all passionate about. I do have two questions. Number one, Gabe, will you come back and speak at our youth summit?
I could if you wanted me to.
I think that would be great. We'll ask Sarah if you could be our speaker for this year, because you are showing so much passion. The second thing is, you should really apply at AMO. Because right now there is that push on for exactly you. So last year we had Henry from AMO, who was an intern at the time. He is now an employee at AMO and spoke last week at the Healthy Democracy Forum, and again spoke so passionately, and things that he had learned through his internship, much like you learned during your co-op placement. And it certainly sounds like like our staff put you in every facet, which I really like. We didn't send him out on the roads crew or to pick up garbage or out with fire, right? Just okay.
I have one more software to show them that I was gonna get to today, but Daryl stole them on me, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Gabe. I'm so excited for your university experience. But I'm sure that Annette and all of the people in the office would love to keep you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When do you find out about your bursary?
End of like July, I think.
Okay.
So something like that.
So you're going to Western?
Yes, Western.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're exactly what we were talking about last week. Like, you can be the poster boy for for how we want to develop the next generation, you know. I was at the senior center talking about volunteers, and we need younger volunteers, not to replace our volunteers, but to mentor our volunteers. And I think that's what you really got here is a mentorship to sort of guide you. Is this really what you want to do?
Mhm.
And what a better way to do it than a high school co-op
Yeah.
placement. So I think, wow. But your parents also raised you right.
I'll be sure to tell them.
Well, they can watch the video. so-
Yeah,
There you go.
They know, they know.
They know.
No, it's wonderful. Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate this.
Thanks, Gabe.
Come on back.
Yeah.
So are you done now, or are you gonna stick around for the summer, or?
I'm gone for all of July. I'm in Quebec City doing a French immersion program
Mhm.
at Laval University. So that's where I'll be for all of July.
yeah, we
It's-
lost out.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, it's too bad he's not motivated. My goodness, what a great opportunity.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, expanding my French like that, living in the directly in the heart of French Canadian language.
And living it, not just learning it in a classroom.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the only way to learn is to live.
Immerse yourself.
And I'm gonna say that a young man should be in Montreal, not Eganville for the summer.
Oh, oh, John.
John.
We'll see you later, Dave.
Thank you. If you're watching
Don't
this.
watch that part.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks. All right, now we'll go back to Annette's report.
Okay, I will be as quick as I can. So you have the report there, you have all the information, the background, council's well aware of the project with the electronic vehicles, the chargers, and the rideshare program. So we put everything together, and of course, this was originally applied for in 2023 with 2022 quotes. And so, yes, things have come up a little bit in price. And so each municipality is sort of, we still have to tender for the vehicles, which I want to put out next week. You know, if you look online, they're anywhere between 50 and 80 for an SUV. Whether we will get better pricing, government pricing, whether, I don't know. So I kept them in the budget at about 60,000. The chargers themselves, so this is really, we could drop down to a level 2 charger, which charges after about 4 hours.
I
A
know
level
that's
3
mistake.
charges
Yeah.
does it about 45 minutes, and the difference is, of course, changing the current from AC to DC, whether it's done in the car, whether it's done in the charger, and that's really the big difference. So yes, my recommendation is that we continue with the picture that you see there with a level 3 charger with a level 2 charger pedestal. We may have to contribute, if the vehicles come in at the price, if everything continues on, it's going to mean a contribution of possibly an extra $20,000 in next year's budget, not this year's budget. To make sure we get that, depending on if the other townships decide to drop down to level 2s, there may be money there. They would get more chargers. They're looking at having more chargers as opposed to the different level chargers.
4 hours to
Yes.
charge?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
the 45 minutes, I think is.
yeah, no, you're level 3. That's enough for a dinner or just going shopping
Mhm.
downtown and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're gonna regret that down the line, but that's not my decision. That's up to them if they are interested in having more level 2s, so.
I think though also on your spreadsheet, and you know, you talk about revenue from the rentals and revenue for the chargers.
Yeah.
And you're using 2 municipalities for your estimates.
Yeah,
They have a very low amount per minute.
yes. so-
You
Yeah.
chose 2 that are particularly cheap.
And they are level 2s. So
And
ours
they are
will
level
be, ours
2s.
will be higher, so
That's
yeah,
right.
the estimates are there, so. And I can't say how many people are going to be interested in the rideshare, I don't know that. So, you know, the estimates are what they are, but I think if we purchase level twos as opposed to the level three with the level two pedestal. I'm concerned we'll regret it down the road as technology catches up with us, but.
Agreed. So two things. Number one, I spoke to two people that have level threes. That they are actually, their municipalities are actually breaking even with their chargers.
Excellent.
Which is where I thought we would land.
Mhm.
So there is absolutely, so that we are netting the cost of
Good.
anything. The other thing in your report is that this is a 3-year program, but we can keep them for 5, or the other way around.
Yes,
Yes,
so yeah,
sorry.
it's a pilot, it's a pilot
3-year
project, yeah.
pilot, but we can keep them for 5. But I think that we've always said that if we find that the vehicles aren't being rented as we see, then, and they would then be probably out of warranty,
Mhm.
that then we would stop the rental portion, sell the vehicles, keep the chargers, which is very important.
Yes.
And then we would be completely revenue neutral
Yes.
for the chargers and maybe have some income from selling the EVs.
Yes, my hope is that it's a successful program, but I also don't know whether we want to add to our services that we're doing. So if the data supports the program, I'm hoping someone will come in and take it over. But I mean, maybe council, maybe if it's a very successful program, the revenue will make sense for us to have someone to support it. I don't know.
And it hasn't been done from anybody that I can find in Eastern Region,
No,
so.
it's a complete pilot of, really, it's the data means just as much as everything else to the county whole transportation
Yes.
plan to see whether this is successful or not.
That was going to be my next comment, is that now we have.
Trying to find it now, like, did I read correctly that a fully charged will get you about 100 kilometers?
On a level 2, for, yeah, like on a,
So someone
but
taking.
it's 300 kilometers. For 45 minutes on a level 3.
Are you talking about charge time or?
I'm talking about a fully charged vehicle here, will it get you to take a patient to Ottawa
Yes,
and back?
yes,
Without
it's
charging.
it's 300 kilometers.
It also depends on the vehicle.
I thought I read
It
100
also
kilometers.
depends, it also depends on the weather.
It also depends on the weather.
Yes,
The
yes.
winter is not kind to these vehicles.
No, I just thought I read somewhere it said 100 kilometers, and I said, my God, that'll just get you to Ottawa, then you get a.
Yeah, that's the level 2s. That's where
Then-
I think the better charger is.
Then for these, there's the 3 vehicles that are purchased between all the municipalities. Then for like, so there could be, for example, 2 in Whitewater, for example, and none in Bonnechere Valley. Technically, it's just based on the rental, or there has to be 1 in each municipalities. Have we figured out the logistics of that yet? Or?
There's one in
It doesn't,
sorry.
well, we don't care. I mean, we're getting a car and we
Yes.
will administer that car from here.
Yeah.
And the other cars, so the chargers aren't an issue, like, we don't
Yeah.
care where anybody
Yeah.
puts their chargers. But as far as the cars go, we will have 1 car, it will be administered through here.
Mhm.
And what the other municipalities do,
No, I know, I understand it's separate, but for our car, for like, say, like storing it, it would be stored technically at where like the level 2 side of the charger bay is.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about, because if you're talking about the winter and all that, it's gonna have to be continuously charged.
Yes, it would already.
I'm just,
stay here with
I was
us.
just saying for our vehicle,
Yeah.
it needs, it's not gonna be at the office, it's gonna be at the tourist booth.
No,
it's
it'll
here
be
at the
here.
office. Yeah,
Oh, it is gonna be
Yeah.
here? Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
we were either gonna put it under like where the sign is at the front.
okay,
But also one of the electricians that we had come in said it might be better to put it right at the end. The last 2 fire spots,
Mhm.
because we could connect right to the pole right there.
oh,
And then we wouldn't have to go through the, yeah, so.
Okay, so
That's
it did
interesting.
get put here, because I remember us
Yes.
talking about, and that was the most beneficial spot, was to keep it.
Yeah,
the tourist booth is the better place for it, but not administrating. the
Well, no, and
vehicle.
that's what we had talked
Yeah.
about previously. Nope, that's perfect.
yeah, so it'll be at the front of the building.
But no, if
You'll
you're
be
gonna,
able to
if
see
you're
it.
gonna do one, and I'm no electric charger guy, don't get me wrong, but if you're
Right.
gonna get one, you're not gonna get a level 2, because 4 hours is ludicrous.
Yeah.
3 hours makes sense, and I know like my father-in-law they're all electric. Like,
Okay.
he
Mhm.
charges at Bancroft and then comes here, so I know
Yeah.
on their end, it makes sense.
Okay,
I'm just giving, that's one example of multiple people that drive through our community every single.
yeah,
Look at your charge points, right?
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Well, and the other thing is, just so everybody knows, once our chargers are installed, they will be mapped by all the different EVs, so Tesla will say, there is a charging station here.
Mhm.
Hey, the only benefit to get additional people to stop, right?
Yes, that's the hope.
Yeah, again, I'd love it at the tourist booth,
Mm.
but we're not that far,
No, we're not.
right? So anyway, I think that your recommendations are wonderful. It's just that the revenue off the chargers, when I saw it,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going splunking for information on this.
So if that's okay, then I would add it to the agenda this evening with a resolution so that I could go ahead and place that order.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a quick to the council, I've got already have a call. The rumors out there that we're giving the staff electric cars. I said, no, that's not happening.
If it's not in use and no one.
I've never heard it.
No,
Neither have
If
I.
it's not in use and no one has it rented, then it makes sense, instead of paying somebody mileage to go to the bank or the post office to take that vehicle, or it makes sense for the CBO, instead of taking the big gas guzzler SUV. Out to look at, if no one has it booked, if it's not, yes.
Yeah, but it's not for somebody to take home.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
that's what I said, not for
Absolutely not.
somebody to take
No.
home. But this person was a bit upset, and I said, that the rumor mill is out already.
Quite a mill.
So I won't go too deep down here with so the energy reporting obviously is due July 1st. That's been quite a challenge, because the province changes the reporting, software every year. But I did, manage to get a workaround done today, so I think I've got it ready to go. I was gonna give some of that to Gabe to complete to get our filing done. I did get a letter from the ministry saying if we don't file by July 1st, they won't accept late filings. I'm not sure what that's about, but anyway, I'll do our.
Response, is it July 1st or July 2nd?
Well-
Is July 1st?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Come to July
Not
2nd.
sure, they want the
Clerical.
information from us, we're not benefiting from it, it's not connected to any grants, so I find that a funny email, but we'll see. Blue box regulations.
Oh, God.
I will not go, this is the one that I won't go down too far down the road. I would like to comment, the regulations that they've put out are really addressing all of the producers' issues. So they're addressing, if we can't meet our targets, we don't want to be penalized, so they're reducing the targets. They're going on about ineligibles, because we've requested that, after everyone transitions, would they be willing to take schools back? The answer is no. So some of the amendments and some of the differences that are in this regulation, they're all feeding into the producers. And I understand the producers pay in money to run the recycling program, and so they don't want to do it for anything that they're not obligated to do, which is why they do residential, they don't do commercial, they don't do municipal, they don't do any of that. So, but similar to the conversation we just had about the 12-year truck, I think there's other things that they're not, and I've had many conversations and I've put many letters and emails in play, but I have not gotten a positive response as of yet. So I would like to put in another letter from Boulder Valley, because we are going to have, regardless of where we go with the truck, regardless of how it happens, whether it's us, whether it's Miller's, whatever it is, right now, the residential recycling gets picked up at the same time as the commercial recycling, which makes sense. It's very efficient. It's the same vehicle on the road, picking up the same material, taking it to the same processing. Now that will not be able to happen. The processing, the vehicle is going to come down the road, it's going to drive by the 51 businesses. Pick up then it's going to have to do the route again, pick up from them, and we're gonna have a half-empty truck driving down the road to the processing. Same with all of our depots. So, that is a real challenge for me, because it's additional costs. It's extremely inefficient, no different than the plow trucks used to drive down this main road and pick up the plow and it doesn't make any sense. I've had discussions with them. I myself am willing to put forward to pay, even though our village is 12% commercial, based on properties, and our rural outside in the depots are about 6% commercial properties. Willing to pay for up to 25%, even though we're not 25%, in order to have the truck go down the road in one run, the money that it will save. I don't know why we can't have a percentage based. I don't know why it has to be completely separate. It's going to save the producers money, it's going to save us money, it's going to save the province money. So why we can't do things that are cost effective and efficient, I don't know. And that is the comments that I would like to make on this regulation, basically that they've addressed all of the producers' issues. However, they seem to be ignoring all of the municipal issues, and some of the municipal issues actually benefit the producers. I could actually save the producers money, but you're not letting me. Why?
Can there not be a Bonnechere Valley amendment put in? It's like, that's where that's where I'm getting at today, is like, you have your, like, exactly what you just pointed out, and then you have your 12-year vehicle limit.
Yes.
It's like, there needs to be a Bonnechere Valley amendment. within-
Exemption,
Exemption.
exemption.
Like anything, Schedule C, Schedule B, A, I don't care.
And if
But
want to run the program as it is for the larger cities, I can understand, because it's an area with a lot more buildings and a lot more people, so they don't probably have empty trucks. Their trucks are probably full doing a residential run and full doing a commercial run. Ours are not. And the distance, they're probably going from here to here is the processing. Ours is very far. It doesn't work in a rural setting. And so those are the comments I would like to impart back.
Yes,
If
please.
that is
I have no problem, because it just, after years of being at this table and just seeing I don't know how to put it in a positive
ludicrous
manner. Like,
nature.
ludicrous nature would be the best way to put it, but like, it just doesn't make sense, so I'm fine, like.
Yeah.
Supporting you and like,
Yes.
because it makes total sense. The Bonnechere Valley amendment, that'd make sense.
Is that the kind of suggestion that could be put into, we receive letters from other municipalities saying, support us in this?
Yes, we could. These comments are due by July the 4th. So I'd like to put the comments in on the regulation by July the
Okay.
4th. But yes, I can also bring back a resolution, and we've also requested a delegation. So, we are doing our best to try and get this message forward.
But we're such a unique entity within all that, so we can ask our neighbors and everyone for support, but we're the ones that are in this predicament.
I would go so far as to send it to Roma.
Well, and that's the thing, it's
Because
like,
it-
because that's what Roma, in my opinion, that's what it should be intended, we're a rural
Yeah.
municipality, and we're getting overlooked because you have large municipalities looking down at us.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what the fight, like, no different than, for, let's say, your fire education, no different than other battles in the past.
Yeah.
This is a common sense one that just doesn't make sense.
When we get to that resolution.
I saw the resolution.
Oh my gosh,
But
I have
Annette,
so much
though-
to add to that resolution. Can
So
I
Annette,
just-
do you, so then in July, you're just gonna be wanting staff direction to comment?
Yes,
on it?
Yeah.
that is
that's
that,
no
yes.
problem. Yeah, no problem.
Do it.
Okay, so and that's basically.
Throw in a
what
couple
I-
comments about the 12-year as well,
Yes.
just obviously,
Absolutely, I will. Yeah.
because it just makes no sense.
No, it's so
Stop
doesn't.
Stop making us buy vehicles.
No, and I do have an entire paragraph written on that, and I can share it with council if you want to see what I'm going to comment on.
Just-
Then, but I
We trust you.
just wanted, before I. comment
Actually,
on
you
it.
did your rant was almost as equal to the mayor's rant earlier today, so it's good, we enjoy it.
That's pretty good, Annette. I'm going to say, the student has become the master.
Okay, so I don't want to take up too much more time, but I just want to quickly open up Sarah's report in case she needed some direction. I don't think there was
No,
anything in the planning emergency.
Oh, but I did really appreciate our field officer from EMO sending an email to Erica saying, we haven't gotten your compliance letter out because we're really overworked. In the email, why didn't you say you're in compliance? Like that. No, seriously, he sends an email. Good morning, Erica. Thank you for reaching out. Due to current response commitments and workload prioritization, this particular project is on hold for the time being. Please rest assured we are working to get these compliance letters out to everyone as soon as we can. Couldn't he have just said you're in compliance?
Second letter.
Yeah, I'm not,
Once again,
I'm not disagreeing, it's just the bureaucracy that we're all trying to enjoy.
I'm just.
So I don't see any direction needed in Sarah's report. The health and safety water stream, we're applying again for John Street. We've added more, we've beefed it up even further.
I like it.
Daryl, Sarah and I are meeting with our engineers Thursday to go over it one more time before we submit.
Yep.
The green inclusive community buildings, as you can see, we can now talk about the Eganville arena and reduction and efficiency.
Unbelievable. It's only been a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, we didn't get the community sport recreation infrastructure
Yeah.
fund, but yeah, so the green inclusive, we've now put a stackable application into the green municipal fund through FCM to get a little bit more money. And yeah, we'll bring forward a report on sort of those projects, which we have, I think, until 2020 March, I guess, 2029. So it's not an immediate pressure on the
Mhm.
budget. But we can talk about that at next year's budget meeting and sort of plan out, because it's, you know, the $1.5 million.
Oh, yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
excellent investment.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, big deal. Okay, that's all I have in there.
Thank you. Moving right along, correspondence A, is there for information? Is there anyone whose action needs to be taken there? Good. Correspondence B, article number 7.21 calls for a resolution. Is that something they have back on?
I would, I'd like to hold off until the county puts something together, since they're kind of our overlords as planning goes.
Are you talking about Bill 6?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Let's put.
I mean, I had a rant about it, but I think that there are planning,
Yeah,
and so I'd rather go with sort of a global.
we'll revisit that.
Did anybody else think this floating accommodations thing was interesting?
Yeah,
It was.
I remember it surfing about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And, but yeah, no, Don,
I mean, I don't understand how you could do it though, because it would be against the provincial policy statement, and that's one of the things
And the
in the,
official plan, yeah.
well, in our official plan for sure.
Yeah.
But it's, I just found it fascinating.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, firefighter certification opposition letter. I would like to support this, but I would like to add to it. Can I add to it, Annette?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. So we'll support it in
And I'll
July.
work together for the July meeting.
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
And then
Very
you're also gonna talk about the budgetary side of it. Like
Yes.
training, just because just signed all the firefighter checks, so I can see the training side of it is
Yes.
different than other years as well, so that's really comparable. So I just literally signed them, I think it was last Tuesday,
Yeah.
so.
Again, OW and ODSP, we're working on something at the county, I believe.
Nothing on
Yeah,
5.
and the request from St. John's Augsburg. Do you wanna defer this? Do you wanna table it to correspondence C?
Well, what is there what's the rationale to take?
Because, I'm sorry, I guess I should have put that in context.
Mhm.
Weirdly, during our Roma meeting last week, the executive director of AMA was there and was talking about this exact thing, about severing
Mhm.
churches from cemeteries because they're beautiful building lots.
Mhm.
Or could the church be used for a different purpose, whether it be residential or something else? But did you want to speak to this letter, and do you have I know when we talked the other day, we were both a bit stymied.
I'll give you a quick background, and then you can decide whether you need more time on it. But basically, yes, the severance, can happen for the church. However, not only do they need environmental studies, but they need an archaeological study.
Yes.
And so because of that, that can be very costly. Stage 1 is not super costly, but if something is found in stage 1, then you gotta do stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It can.
Well, Wanda's letter showed
It can
that,
escalate
yeah.
very quickly. So, the congregations are joining, with Grace Lutheran, and that's fine. But they don't want to take on the building as a liability, and so are basically saying, if you want us to take on your cemetery as part of the congregations coming together, we would like the building demolished. Of course, the building being demolished is expensive as well as, as severing and going through all the studies. And so they basically are coming to us with a request for support because the BAO, the Bereavement Authority of Ontario, basically said if, if the cemetery gets abandoned, then it becomes municipal responsibility, which is true. And so I did reach out to, Grace Lutheran as well, to have a conversation to say, to make sure that I have everything, all the facts, and this is the discussion that happened. So I did also impart that should that happen, should the congregations merge, which I think is going to happen regardless of what happens at the cemetery, and the cemetery gets abandoned, then the BAO, when they call me to say because they have multiple times, like multiple times, they've called me and said, we have a cemetery that we believe is to be abandoned. There's nobody reporting on it. There's nothing happening. So far, it's happened maybe 7 times. I have been able to call and find a church and find someone responsible for the cemetery, and that has worked out. So just because it becomes abandoned does not automatically come to us. We are the default. You are where it is going to end up if no one else will take it. But my first move would be to call local churches to see if anyone else is interested in it before we do that. So I don't know if they were looking for support, basically. I don't think they were looking for support for the studies. I think they were looking for support in demolishing, whether, that's waiving of tipping fees, whether that's actually paying to have a building demolished. I think that's, that becomes a slippery slope. So really the question is council, at this stage where nothing's imminent at this stage, it's a discussion between 2, pastoral charges. I'm not sure if that's the right word for the Lutheran Church, but it's between 2 congregations that are in discussions to come together. They're both interested in maintaining the cemetery. They don't want the building. And so they're basically saying, will the township help us to get rid of the building? So that we don't have to worry about the discussion down the line of the cemetery is abandoned, would the township now take it over? So whether we want to, move forward in that direction now, or whether we wait until that is a reality and it has actually been abandoned and we get the call from the BAO, and then at that point decide. Because yes, they've also applied to the BAO to use their fund, their perpetual fund for it. I don't know if that'll be approved because that's meant for something very specific. If we took over the cemetery, we would also inherit the perpetual fund, not that it can be spent on anything other than perpetual care. So I think cemeteries are a lot of work. I think they're a liability. I would rather not own one. But the question is whether this decision, as you said, do we put it in correspondence and talk about it again later? Or do we even wait? Do we even pause it and wait until the BAO is actually knocking on our door? Or do you want to support the congregations at this time?
So number one, for the souls that are buried in the cemetery and their families, I don't think a municipality is the appropriate steward. I think that a church of any sort would be better than a municipality. And I'm not adverse, I don't know if anybody else is, to, much like in our CIP, to help with disposal fees. But are we even there yet, was sort of my question.
I think that is the negotiation between the 2 congregations. St. John Augsburg has offered it to Grace Lutheran. Grace Lutheran says we are happy to take on the cemetery. We would like the building, if it cannot be severed, we would like the building demolished before we take it on. So at this point, that is the negotiation stage that they are at. So they have come to us to say, will you help us demolish the building so that we can so that Grace will take on the cemetery.
Okay, so I agree with you, it's a slippery slope to demolish the building. I don't think that's within our purview. But I think that we could, especially preserving that cemetery within another church. I think that would be something that council should seriously consider. We do it in our CIP, we allow for some amount of construction and demolition waste as a freebie. I know that this would be more than normal, but we do grind and we do use building materials as cover for our waste sites. Yeah, those are my comments.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where they're going. I know where they're going or trying to go with this, but I'm just going to use an example here. I don't, you're not familiar with the churches, but the Trinity Lutheran Church further down the road, I was baptized there, confirmed there, and married there. But they said, when I moved away, the church was torn down. Now, I don't know who tore it down or who paid for it, but the cemetery is still active. My wife is buried there and I intend to still be buried there. There's still money in the funds to run the cemetery.
Oh, well, that's thankful. Is it run by a different church?
No, it's run by, no, it's run, I don't exactly, run by a group that used to be, belonged to the church, I think, because I say I moved away from here when all this happened.
Right,
But there's a gentleman, can't think of his name, but he runs the cemetery and he makes sure that the grass is cut and all that sort of thing. And
okay,
there seems to be money, enough money to,
okay, but it's not the municipality. and I
not the
think that's-
municipality, but then
For
further
me,
down the, further
people
down.
were buried in a cemetery that is affiliated with their denomination. We are not a denomination sitting at this table, and I don't want to even think about, those souls were buried in their church, and I think that's the most important thing here, and I think that's why I'm wondering, is AMO looking into, this is obviously happening everywhere.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the executive director would never have brought it up, and it was just was such strange timing that it was literally on Friday that he brought it up.
and at this point, I don't know how much of a panic there is. It's abandoning the cemeteries when you stop doing the reporting from the VAO, you
Yeah.
stop doing it's the records, it's the filing, that's the big weigh down on the municipality. And so, if that is not meant, like you said, if AMO is working on this, maybe because I think the beneficial thing would be for them to finish their severance and sell the property. That would benefit the churches probably as well.
Definitely.
So,
If that's an
so
option.
how imminent, I know that the congregational, joining together is probably imminent, or maybe is already
It
there.
didn't really happen.
It's already happened, so the question just is, is Grace willing to look after the cemetery, board up the building and give it some time to see if we can still sever? Or are they saying, are both congregations that are now one saying, we refuse to do any of the paperwork for the cemetery? And yeah, so I just don't know how imminent it is.
Just a quick clarification for so in your municipal purview, when it comes to severances, under our municipality for archaeological, for example, township council waiving it prior to it, and then it's the new owner's responsibility. No, and that's where I was asking. I didn't know if I didn't know if it was under our purview to be able to waive it and then allow the severance go through under the.
Guess whose rule that is? The province.
Yeah.
No,
And
I just.
severances are also with the upper tier.
Yeah,
So they're not under our purview at all.
but we also you can't take county either.
Yeah.
And yet
But there's no way to, at the municipal level, be at county or our level to waive the archaeological, so it's not on the burns on the church, but on the new property owner.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Hmm.
Not that I'm aware of.
But we have got iron in the fire, because if the church walks away from the total property,
Mhm.
the BAO will dump it in our laps.
Yeah,
But what Annette was saying though is that every time that's been the option, which is about 7 times you said, Annette,
Since I've been here.
then she has always been able to find another congregation church group to take over, and that's why.
But that's different if you're talking about the one at Renfrew Street, which hasn't got a building attached to it. This has a building, so whichever church Annette finds will have to take on the white elephant, which is the building.
okay, so I think at this point, is everybody willing to help out with a bit of tipping fee?
I am.
Okay. Brent, what's your feeling?
It's fine.
Maybe not all of it, but I think that's the road we're going down right now, Annette. Let's offer up a bit of tipping fee. And then let's see where, and we will bring this back, because between now and our next meeting, there are several weeks.
Okay,
So things
In all,
may
in all
occur.
fairness, we've had 6 fires this year. We have other comparables for tipping fees
I know.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And a church's hall inside, so you'll be able, Jason will be able to look at the comparables and see what actually the payload's gonna be, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, we do have comparables. So I think, yeah, but when it comes to tipping fee, that's no problem.
I agree,
Yeah.
okay.
okay, so let me take that back.
Yeah.
Yes,
To Wanda, and,
I think that's the common sense approach. We
I do
find it gives
too.
us cover, and it's one of the, yeah, and then take it back and go from there.
I
okay,
just don't wanna talk about something else just for a moment. There's also a Lutheran church in Sebastopol that they have church there once a year. How I found that out, I kind of made it upon myself, I want to take pictures of these country churches before they're all knocked
well, and
down.
you saw Sarah took some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have one service there a year. Now, how they maintain the dollar, now also go further down the road, the White Church Road up there,
Mhm.
the Baptist church, of course, they're on a wing and a prayer as well, because everybody's moved away.
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet, but apparently there's a Catholic church up there that's totally abandoned. I know there's a Catholic
Really?
cemetery, but I haven't found the church yet. I intend to take a drive some Sunday. But apparently it's not being used, and there's someplace that somebody said, well, they're using it for something else. Well, I don't know, but it's all in our township.
Yeah,
okay,
Okay.
that was good.
all right. Chair,
Okay,
kind of passed that EGC meeting.
new and unfinished business.
Done, perfect.
That's done, yes.
Yeah, and I will do a mayor's report. Okay, next meeting.
Next meeting date is established.
July 15th.
Thank you.
We lost our media.
Media is retired. And we have no closed session. And may I have a motion for adjournment? Murph?
Yep.
Thank you.
Everybody wants to adjourn.
Perfect.
Room does not want to shut off.
It's possessed.
Love and life.
Okay.
right.
Cannot end the meeting.
So let's
Still.
refresh it.
Still live, I cannot end the meeting, just so you know.
I don't care. You can keep it going.